Hi guys, today I want to talk about mixing in the box. Quite often I get asked about mixing in the box versus mixing hybrid or analog. The question that always comes up is, does it sound the same? The short answer is no, it doesn't sound the same. However, you can get great results mixing in the box. All of this equipment, you don't need it. There's a lot of great mixers and producers that have proven it already. I mean, guys like Andrew Sheps, Chad Blake, Michael Brower, the list goes on. There's a lot of people mixing all inside the box. However, when guys like Andrew Sheps says, oh, I mix totally in a box, I don't use any hardware anymore, he don't tell you that the files that's been sent to him has been recorded by the greatest musicians with the greatest instruments in the biggest and greatest sounding studios around the world. They have already used Neumann microphones, Neve, API, SSL consoles, and EQ. They have used 1176, LA2A, Fairchilds, Pultec EQs, you name it. It has all been taken care of. It already got that flavor. At the end of the day, all this analog gear is doing is giving it a flavor to the sound. It's coloring the sound and making it sound a little bit different than if you would just go straight into your DAW. I actually remember Andrew Sheps was interviewed at the Dave Pensado show, or Dave Pensado's Place, or whatever it's called. And Dave Pensado told him, okay, so now you're mixing in the box, so you don't use any hardware at all. And Andrew Sheps said, well, not when mixing, but when I'm recording and tracking, that's a totally different story. So a guy like Andrew Sheps, he wants that analog sound, but for him that's doing a lot of mixes and he need to be able to make recalls really fast. I get it why he stays in the box. Me, however, I'm doing mostly stuff for myself. Sometimes I mix other people's recordings. And when I get a recordings that's been done in a small rehearsal place with no hardware, I always run it through my hardware. Because I think analog gear brings some weight and fatness to the sound that you can't get in the hardware. The hardware emulated plugins, they are super good. I'm using it. I'm using Waves 1176, SSL, LA2A, API. I really like the plugins. However, the CLA76, it behaves like a 1176 style compressor. It even got some of that character like an 1176 style compressor. I don't have a real 1176 here. I have Warm Audio, Klark Teknik, and a Lindell audio. They all bring something to the table that the plugin can't compete with. Yes, you can mix in the box. However, it will not sound the same as when you're mixing hybrid or analog. But the thing is like this. You use what you have and you make it work. I started out with a 4-track cassette player and a small console. I think it was a Boss console. And the only thing it had was like faders, and it was like treble, mid, and bass. Probably some effect sounds, which I didn't use because I didn't have any effects. So that was just what I did. I recorded 4 tracks and I was trying to mix it as good as I can and just try to make it work. The point is, use what you have and make great music. A great song will not be destroyed by the gear that you have. However, a bad song recorded in the greatest studio around the world will still be a bad song. Concentrate more on writing good songs and then try to record it as best as you can with the gear that you have. And of course, I love this gear, but this is not what is making or breaking a record. This is just tools that we use to get to the end results that we have in our heads. Anyway, this is me ranting about mixing in the box versus the analog gear and hybrid setups. Until next time, please subscribe, hit the like button. Goodbye.